In a previous video, I talked about how managing our emotions or specifically releasing the negative emotions is the job of our inner feminine. Actually, everything that is related to our inner healing is the domain of our inner feminine. And so we cannot go about releasing our emotions the rational cognitive way. It doesn't happen like that. Whenever it comes to releasing the emotion, it has to happen at the level of the body. And so now I want to share with you three steps that will allow you to release the negative emotion in a healthy way, in an effective way, and also why sometimes we may not be doing it the right way. Whenever we are experiencing negative emotions, the more advanced parts of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that is responsible for problem solving, effective decision making, rational thinking, and analyzing, these parts are just inhibited during the time when we are experiencing the negative emotion. And so we do not really have access to our cognitive superpowers when we are experiencing negative emotions. So it would not be a very intelligent way to go about releasing the negative emotions if we're going to approach it the rational way, right? So the first thing that we need to do is to release the negative emotion first, and then when these superpowers are no longer inhibited by the fact that we're experiencing the negative emotion, then we can come to understand the lesson or the wisdom that is intended from that negative event that we have been exposed to. So the first step into releasing the negative emotion is to move our awareness and focus out of our heads and into our bodies. We just need to shift awareness into our bodies and sense where in our body are we experiencing this emotion. And it would be different for each and every one of us. So, for some of us, we may experience, let's say, sadness in the heart, worry and anxiety, maybe in the neck and shoulders, and so on. And so, after we have identified where in our body we're feeling the emotion, we need to stay there with our focus, with our awareness. We need to stay with that emotion uh, without judging it or criticizing it or judging or criticizing ourselves. I need to offer it all the acceptance that I can because experiencing a negative emotion does not mean that there's something wrong with me or I'm a failure or I'm weak. It just means I'm human and it is only a normal consequence of an outside event that I have interpreted in a certain way. And so when I'm with that emotion, I want to ask myself, what am I feeling right now? What is this emotion that I'm experiencing? According to studies, naming the emotion decreases its intensity because at that point I am releasing the brain from the drama and I'm giving it a specific task. Give me the name of the emotion. And so it kind of breaks free from that drama and it's now focusing on the emotion. And this is the difficult part because we don't want to experience negative emotions, and that is right. No one wants to experience negative emotions, but um, allowing ourselves, building that capacity to hold space for the negative emotion to just be, allowing myself to feel it. This is how I exhaust the emotion. This is how I release it. It is there to be felt, like a cup of coffee that's always there to be enjoyed. The same thing, the emotion, I need to like consume it, but how? In what way? By allowing myself to feel it. And this is like really the hard part of it because we don't want to experience the negative emotion, but this is how it releases. Because the nervous system is always looking for a chance through which it can release all the pent up negative emotions. And so, um, My nervous system is designed to, do the emotional healing when I allow it to release. And so that release is all about me standing in witness of that emotion, being with it wherever I'm experiencing it in my body, and let my awareness be there in that space, and just, stay with it. Like I'm staying with a little baby. I just offer it compassion and companionship, zero criticism, zero judgment. And then um, that at that point, I will notice that it is decreasing in intensity again. And then I can use my breath to guide the emotion to release. I can imagine or just intend that with every out breath, this emotion is releasing from my body. I can imagine that it is a kind of light or energy or some kind of color that is going out and releasing with every out breath. This signals to the body that, I am releasing it or I'm allowing it to release. But first, I need to allow myself to feel it, to experience it, to, be with it as it is there inside of me, happening. I have to just be with it. This is why it is the job of my inner feminine. So, to sum it all up again, number one, I have to shift awareness from my head into my body, ask myself where in my body I'm experiencing the emotion, name the emotion, then allow it, stand in witness with of that emotion, stay with it wherever it is, and just allow it to to be, allow myself to feel it, and then release it with my breath. If you want to learn more science-based tools and techniques that will help you to build your nervous system's capacity to support you in the way you show up in your relationships, in your business, if you want to learn tools and techniques that heal your nervous system from past traumas and reprogram your nervous system and your subconscious mind so it can support that next level that you are aiming for, then I invite you to connect with me over a strategy session that you can book through the link in the description.